Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. I'm Eduardo, joined here by Layla, who's going to run you through, a run of show.
Absolutely. So today it is 5:40 p.m. Pacific, as it always is. In about 20 minutes at 6 Pacific, you're going to enjoy Silent Hill Ascension, and then you'll come right back into mine and Eduardo's Embrace for the post-show. These happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're always happy to see you. Eduardo, for the new folks, would you mind telling us what Ascension is?
Of course. So Silent Hill Ascension is a socially interactive streaming series where all of you collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. You're going to collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see happen. So again, that's up to you to decide with the rest of the community. Now, when those decisions end, that choice is canon. What you decided is the version of the show everyone sees. For example, Eric participating in Amorgi, that was on you. Now, that's the version of the story that becomes our episodes. It's a canon story shaped by you, the participating audience, every day. Now, we're going to throw to our setup scene video here. Our production team's going to put that up so you can enjoy it. Put the mood up. This is when Astrid visits at the hospital. Britt must decide what to say to her about her attack. And finally, obviously, we also have Orson claiming he did see, once again, the lady in the woods. We'll let you enjoy that. We'll see you right after.
Miss Johansson? Your sister is ready for visitors.
Britt? She's here?
She's resting comfortably. I was just going to give her some medication for the pain. Is that a problem?
She's sober. But I'm worried her recovery may not be as solid as she makes it out to be. Does she really need them?
Well, I suppose not.
Can I see her now?
Yes, of course. This way.
Hey.
Britt, what happened to you?
This happened because of you.
What are you talking about?
Orson. He's different, Astrid. And you decided to leave him alone in that fucked up house of misery we grew up in. What did you think would happen?
I don't understand.
He tried to kill me.
What? Britt, I don't know what to do.
You're his mother. Figure it out. And keep him the hell away from me.
Orson, it's Mama.
She was here. The lady was here. The lady was here. The lady was here.
Dearly beloved, our production team will throw iconic scene of the week in the background. And essentially, we are here not to mourn, but to celebrate the death of Xavier from our show. Of course, we need to remember how he died, because after all, it is a celebration. It is important to remember that his passing shall not be mourned, but shall be remembered as a great moment. As essentially, he threatened a mother in front of her child, right there in the forest. Cold-blooded, not interested at all in the person, but interested simply in the Foundation. But the Foundation and its beliefs got the best of him, as you will see a bit later. His comeuppance did come. So, anyways, yes. Layla, any words for our our beloved death rather than our beloved character here?
Rest in pieces, you messy bitch.
I think that's well said, well respected by everybody.
Thank you.
So, I hope everybody here is having a great time as well in our show. So again, you can see here Xavier threatening Rachel. It's a pretty harrowing scene, to be honest. She's kind of like made her decision, right? You helped her make that choice of redemption, going like, you know what, Foundation, not so good. I left. I don't want to come back. But Xavier's having none of it. Puts that knife there on her throat in front of her child in cold blood. As she, in just a little moment, she's like with Faith, like, don't worry, everything's fine. just calm, cool, collected, while he's like trying to do something. She comes back, she cuts the finger right here. Excellent. Little bit of it's important, right, to do it. Resting in pieces, Layla, indeed here. And look at this. She could run away, but she makes sure to stab him first and then run away. I like the process, right? You got to make sure the person attacking you can't come.
Eduardo, I wouldn't say she stabbed him. I would say he ran into her knife. He ran into her knife 10 times.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's it. Reminds me of one of the most iconic articles from France, which was, it took multiple bullets at bout portant, like essentially right there. Ran into the knife is a really good way to put it as well. The collector, by the way, I like the collector's presence here. Very somber, kind of a master of ceremonies, just making sure. Xavier, we don't need to see the dead body. Or no need to bury it. No, I'll just take it away. No problem.
Well, he's gonna take it a little, I don't know what he does with the bodies necessarily, but if it were me, if I were collecting fingers, it'd be like a little sack.
Yeah, no, for sure. So again, that was the big thing from last week. Obviously, Xavier's death. We know a lot of you were surprised. We tried not to spoil it, and I honestly, from the background, I was laughing so hard at your reactions, audience, on like, oh, okay, he's gone. But here's the thing: the Foundation drama is not ending. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to look at the decision closing today. Production's going to put that up on your screen, Layla. It's actually a binary one. It's pretty simple here.
Absolutely. So what will Rachel tell Barbara about Xavier's fate? Will she trust her with the truth or keep it a secret? That's
pretty much it. I mean, it's not a fate decision here, just very straightforward. And honestly, the fun fact is the audience is split. Literally 51% on trust her with the truth, 49% keep it a secret.
And not a very big margin, just 100,000 influence points. So
yeah. Honestly, whatever you'd like, whatever the audience would like to see, pretty much fair here. Honestly, would you tell Barbara what's up?
No, not for a second. Are you kidding me? That lady is sketchy. Absolutely not. She vamooses God knows to where and then comes back and acts even sketchier than before. Absolutely not. The alarms are going off. I am keeping that close to the chest.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. No need to let Barbara know what's up. You already, Rachel let Eric know. Like Eric, she can kind of trust, right? Like they're separated, but there's still that confidence, right? There's still the like, look, this guy's not going to betray me. He may not like me, I may not like him, but we're not going to like start betraying each other. Like we still got our child's best interest at heart. Barbara, though, we got no clue.
No, I got no ties to Barbara. Rachel and Barbara are not co-parenting, so there is nothing there keeping that loyalty, if you ask me, and you did. No, Barbara, listen, of the Foundation leadership, Xavier, at least he had some flair, I don't know what Barbara's up to.
That's fair. I did. While we are happy to see Xavier pass away, the flair is there. You can't say he didn't leave a mark or a finger.
Or a finger, yeah. Or, a mark or some goss or a mess behind him or kind of all sorts of things. There's really a variety of wonderful things you could walk down memory lane to, with Xavier. And for Eric, there's one apparently mediocre night of lovin'. So
I like the mediocre night of lovin'. Like I went for all this trouble just for just an average session.
Mediocre Night of Lovin', name of my new studio album coming out in 2025.
Well, that's the thing, Layla. All of this is part of the Pennsylvania Foundation drama. So, let's look at our story kind of in Pennsylvania, right? A production team's going to throw that up on screen, and it's going to start right with a bang on that first key item.
Yeah, Xavier gets collected. And then, Krista tries to convince Eric that Rachel can't be trusted to care for Faith. Interesting, Krista. And then Rachel tells Eric about Xavier, and they deliberate what to tell Barbara. Again, I think the more we keep from Barbara, the better.
Yeah. By the way, you having that clear stance didn't keep it a secret go up. Like there
Oh,
was
did
a
it?
clear, like not an actual rally, but a clear like rallying of people towards it.
Listen, my beloved followers are out there. They are legion. There's dozens of them. It's great.
Dozens. No, but yeah, I mean it's fair. Like one of the things we never want to, we could have been impartial. We could have said from the start, one of the tenets of our of our little show before kind of we dive into Norway and Pennsylvania is, you know what, we want to present all the options fairly, let you the audience decide. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's important to have those biases. It's important for us to tell you what's up and for what to go for, and totally fair. Now. That's the thing, right? Pennsylvania really is the dramatic scene. Like we kind of dialed down for a bit. A bit less monsters, a little bit more about interpersonal drama, what's going on. Someone died though. That tends to spark things very quickly.
Multiple someones, right? Because the beginning, we started with a murder, famously. What was her name again? Happy?
Happy, yeah, that's the one. Joy died.
Joy did pass. Rip to a queen. So Pennsylvania started with a murder, and then it got worse. At the very least,
So Toby did, sacrifice himself, but who did the killing blow again?
I think it was like him holding Rachel's hand, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of a murder-suicide? That was a tricky one. Who do you sue for that one?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to think about it. Like, you know what? Xavier not being there may be better for everybody. A little bit less ritualistic martyrdom. Not the worst thing to lack in your life.
No, I think there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And humans are creatures of ritual. We love that kind of stuff. We make rituals of everything, right? You celebrate a birthday, that's a ritual. You celebrate New Year's, that's a ritual. We love ritual and ceremony and stuff as little creatures. It's just hardwired in our brains. You can't have too much of a good thing. I think maybe sometimes too much ritual. Once it starts getting bloody, you should at least evaluate what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair. I do like Leonardo's Five's comment, by the way. The real monsters are the friends we morgied along the way, which is a great saying for the whole Pennsylvania crew.
So true, bestie.
Now, the thing is, we did have our setup scene in Norway. We're going to have that. Our production team's going to be lovely. Put that up on screen for all of you. Kind of our story so far in Norway, where things take a little bit more of a classic dramatic turn, like more of the secret drama, the build-ups.
Yeah, as Astrid and Rachel meet in the other world, they must work together to avoid being ensnared by the monster stalking them. So, classic stuff. Britt must decide what to say to Astrid about her attack. Orson claims he saw the lady in the woods. It's me. With Britt struggling through her pain, other Britt suggests an alternative source for painkillers. Nils are non-binary royalty. So a lot going on. We're starting to get into pill thieving, starting to get into monster hunting, or I guess monster running away from. The Norway's it was more of a slow roll to get to where we are, but now the avalanche has reached the bottom of the mountain and things are accelerating quickly.
For sure. And, one of the things with parental support groups, it's important to share the problems you have that are, how do I raise my child? How do I make sure they don't bully? So what do I do when a mystical lady from the woods makes them come back batshit crazy? Like the normal, typical stuff that parents have to share with one another in order to raise their child. It is difficult, but thankfully Astrid and Rachel found each other across the ocean, literally, to kind of go through that. Now, that said, Britt thankfully found a support person herself, other Brit, which is now canonically how we're calling Doppelganger Brit, essentially is other Brit, which I really love as a name.
Yeah, it's not just Brit, it's other Brit. Or if you want, she could be, I can't believe it's not Brit. That's another
I cannot
pitch.
believe it's not Brit. Excellent. That's a great one.
That's a good one. There's the Diet Brit. There's a bunch you could go for. Great Value Brit. Well, I got more. I could do this all
I
night.
like
but...
classic Brit. Classic Brit, always the best. Never needed new ones.
Yeah. There's like Brit 98 versus Brit Vista. You could, yeah, there's a bunch you could do, but yeah, it's very interesting that she is now being kind of haunted by herself. Again, we've discussed, we got Smiling Carl, Smiling Brit. It seems to kind of almost run in the family, you know what I mean? That method of coping with whatever it is they're trying to maybe avoid, maybe something that's hurting them. So I'm deeply curious as to how this is going to work out for our girl, because we love Brit. We love Brit Classic. Other Brit is a character.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And there was a decision in a few days as well. I think on Thursday, how will Brit handle her doppelganger's threat? Very much on redemption. Ask Nils to hide their drugs. It's Brit. The audience doesn't mess with Brit. There's a few decisions we'll go in the post show over, which were close, like redemption one, but not by much. The Brit ones, nah. We're all for team. You're all rooting Team Brit pretty clearly.
Eduardo.
Yeah.
Eduardo, Midnight OTW beat us, and they just said one is real Brit, the other is just British.
Moving on from that painful moment, it's almost time for the show, Layla. And the thing with pain, right, is our audience will have to go through it with our featured character in our endurance scene. So you're going to describe it to them.
I absolutely will. So when the endurance scene starts, you will have to time your inputs to the actions you see on screen to help our character. Collective success means that the character's hope will rise, otherwise it will fall. If a character fails enough endurance scenes, they may not survive future encounters, leading to their permanent death in the story. We do not mess around with death here. You die, you die. This isn't, Dragon Ball or some such. These endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amounts of influence points. Remember, success or failure is a part of the collective story and not an individual judgment unless you have personally requested it of me and Noah, in which case we will judge you privately. You just kind of receive the vibes,
Yeah, privately and publicly, I would suspect. It's much better to do both. It's important. We're all about the audience interactivity here. So it's important to kind of allow everybody to partake in the judging. But, speaking of that judging, right, the show's starting soon. So Layla, you made Keep It a Secret come up, and now it's really, I actually don't know which one's going to pull through. They're both saying 2.4M. They're both on 50%. So audience, you're going to just have to tune into the show to kind of figure out what's going to go up. That's about in a few minutes. Make sure, if you're interested in seeing which decision to go for, if you're with Layla, keep it a secret. If you're with, you know what, Rachel should say everything on the truth, but the truth, and nothing but the truth. Pretty much go with that rally that's going on right now with that. Now, apart from that, there is also Norway, of course. We've seen a lot with Brit. We've seen Orson. We've seen Astrid. So how that's going to develop, how that's going to transform, important. But we have our drama, essentially, in Pennsylvania coming to kind of its apex, right? The Foundation leader, Xavier, is resting in pieces. And now it's up to the rest of the crew to pick those up. In Norway, though, again, it's taking its time to build because the monsters are very much within. In the case of Everbrit, they're pretty much yourself. Now, after the show, we will be back for the post show. You'll be in Layla's lovely company. You'll be in my reasonably okay company. So we'll have a great time with all of you, the audience. But in the meantime, we do want you to enjoy the show. So we're going to sign off for now. Let you enjoy that. We'll see you right after. Take care. All right, everybody. Here's the obvious message, as you probably expect by now. Some technical difficulties. The show will take a little bit of time before we go live. Now, let's have some fun before we do that. We'll do about a minute or two, right? We don't want to leave you just with the technical difficulty side. First off, the look that Layla's rocking, absolutely awesome. I want the audience to get the compliments in. Think it's great. The hat's back. That's fantastic. On the other side, Layla, you got betrayed by the audience as well.
It comes when it comes. And nobody should have to face it alone.
Chance, audience, that's the thing. So here's the thing.